Okay, so welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing a review of the new JBL Pulse 5. I think the speaker's quite new, it's not actually even on Amazon or anything yet, so I got this straight off the JBL store. This is it, obviously, in the flesh. I did an unboxing on this, but didn't really show much of the lights. And honestly, first impressions, like I said in the unboxing of this, it was very impressive. I love the way this looks and feels. All the buttons feel very premium. You've got your battery percentage down here and all of your normal options, but this material feels really premium, really solid, and the lights inside do look awesome. This is a relatively light room and the lights are very bright. At night there is a brightness setting on the app, but you still have to turn it down at night, really, because it's too bright, so there's no worries there. I don't really know, it's just kind of being a lava lamp at the moment. Now they do advertise this speaker. I find it quite interesting, really, because they advertise it as a 360-degree sound speaker, and they're not technically wrong, because all of the sound comes from this speaker up at the top here. Like, there's obviously nothing on the sides like a normal flip speaker or something like that. It all comes from here. So I guess technically it is 360 because it's upward firing, but it's not in the normal sense. You know, it's not in the normal 360-degree sense where it's speakers all around and it shoots out. It just shoots up. Which does give it a slightly different footprint to other speakers. It sounds a little bit different, and if it's like high up on a table and you're lower down or sitting down on the sofa or something, it doesn't sound, it's not going to give off the same sound as a normal 360 speaker would. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, I'm just pointing out because that can be a little bit misleading. Now, I will say the sound from this speaker is bang on average, really. I mean, the bass is probably the most disappointing bit. You've only got that one little sub at the bottom, and it's a bit tinny, and the speaker itself is not overly loud, and there isn't much clarity to it in some ways, but I guess this is just about the light show, isn't it? The sad thing is like you can pair this, obviously it's got the pairing button here, but you can only pair this with another one of the portable range, being like a Flip 5. The boombox is the biggest speaker in that range, so I've got a load of party boxes, but you can't pair this with those, which is annoying, because if I had this paired with that can do all of the bass and the proper sound, and this can kind of just sit there in the corner and look pretty, basically, is what I would have liked. But you cannot pair this with any of the party boxes, nor the 110 or the 710 or 310, none of those. So unless you've got a boombox to do most of the sound, this is always going to be a pretty average actual speaker. It might just be better to buy a lava lamp, to be completely honest. Although it does have quite an interesting app. So this is the JBL portable app. It's got obviously your battery percentage at the top and everything, and then the light show, you can change what it's doing. So this is a nature setting, and you've got party, spiritual, cocktail, weather, and canvas, and you can edit all of these. So you can go into like the weather and choose which ones it does. So you can make it only do the storm if you like, which I quite like. You get like clouds moving about with some lightning in there, which is quite interesting. Or you can tick them all and choose what you want. Then you can choose if it's a color loop or if it's just one singular color. So you can make it all blue if you wanted to, and I think it puts some other colors in there, but they're all similar to the color you've chosen. Which is quite interesting. And then you've got the light control, so obviously it's got the main light and the lights on the bottom, so you can choose to turn them off individually or have them all on. Then you've got your brightness, so you can have it, that's all the way down and that's all the way up. You can also choose the tempo of the lights, so you can have them like a rabbit and they'll change around quickly and it will be like more like a party setting, or you can have it slow, and it's probably better for like nighttime listening. There's an equalizer here which I have played about with. I've tried to put the bass all the way up because it's really lacking in bass, but that still doesn't really do anything. The sound is still very flat, relatively, unfortunately. And then you've got ambient sound, so if you want a campfire, you can choose how long it plays for. Obviously choose the volume, that might be a bit loud. And then it will play a campfire, which is quite interesting. You can choose any of these sounds, or you can have all of them at the same time, which is a bit much for me. And you can do the feedback tones and stuff, but you can see if you did the party boost, it only works with the other portable speakers that are on this app, which is a little bit annoying. But as far as the lights go, they honestly are awesome. If you wanted some of the nature lights, you can have, I quite like the campfire one in this one. And it will move around like the yellow and red up and down like a campfire. So if you had that playing with a campfire sound, that would be very cool. The party one's quite good. I like the spin one and the geometry one personally. So that's the spin. This is on a snail pace at the moment, so I'm going to turn it up. So that's spin, and then that's the geometry one, I think. But that's quite interesting. And then you've got the spiritual ones. Haven't really played around with these very much. It's just not really my thing. You've got the cocktails, which basically just makes a cocktail of these colours, and you can pick and choose which colours and which designs you want. So it's actually very customizable. The weather one is very cool actually. So that's sky at the moment. That's cloud. That's rain. And that's snow. And then we've got storm, which I already showed you. And the canvas is more like you can just choose the colours, and it will just do random stuff with them basically. But the light show is actually much more customizable than I expected, which is nice. So I'm going to put it in party mode at its highest bunny rate, and then we're going to play some music so you can hear what I mean by the sound in this speaker. My own, broken alone, I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Okay, so I really do admire the light show in this. It doesn't actually look as good on camera as it does in person. You can see my reflection a bit, which obviously you can't really in person. But they make a really good use of the space available, and yeah, there's lots of different designs, and it's actually quite mesmerizing to watch. But the sound for me, especially after using bigger speakers, and I'm someone who likes a lot of bass, it just doesn't do it for me, to be completely honest. It's my personal opinion. It really depends what music you listen to and stuff like that, I guess. But for me and my type of music, this speaker just doesn't do it for me by itself. I was looking forward to pairing it with a party box and having it play its lights in the corner room, and in that case I would have kept it. But in this case it will be going back, because I just don't think it's worth, as a speaker, it's not worth it. As a light thing, maybe that's different, but for me, I like proper sound, and the party box does enough cool lights for me. So this just doesn't really have too much of a market anymore, unfortunately, especially seeing as this is £250, whereas the Encore over there is 200, which has, I mean, 100-fold better sound and still some quite cool lighting. So for me, there's definitely no justification for that price tag. And it is an awesome bit of kit, and it's mesmerizing to watch. It will definitely turn heads, and all your friends will be like, wow, that's cool, etc. But for the price, just send it back and get one of those. But yeah, if you've got any more questions, pop them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. And please subscribe to the channel.